Are you ready for the top 5 things we hear that people make as mistakes? Okay, number 1, they fall in love with a window before they fall in love with a window company. Instead of falling in love with a window first, my advice would be fall in love with a good window company, especially one that has more than one window. The fact that they have one window is a sign of manipulation. Anybody who does a great job at whatever they do should have choices and options available to you, because they want to have choices for different clients, for different tastes, for different sizes, and for different budgets. And so the problem with falling in love with the window first is now you're on a quest to find somebody who sells that window instead of finding a great window company first. If you find a great window company first and you don't like them, you're not going to like their window, because I've said it many times and it's true. A great window with a bad installer is a bad window. The second mistake I see is focus on numbers. Everything becomes about numbers. Now, maybe you're an engineer type, right? We've got a lot of engineers in Houston because it's kind of what we do here. And engineer types, they'll get paralyzed. I mean, it's called paralysis by analysis, right? They want more information, they want more numbers, they want to compare on the numbers. Why? Because they get confused about the windows, so now they want to boil it down to just numbers. They think it's like math, right? If this number's better than that number, it's got to be a better window. Well, that's not true. Don't get confused by the numbers, don't get confused by the size of the company. For example, this machine right here, this can tell me what type of glass is in the window and what the percentages of the values are. I can put the glass here, I can compare the numbers, I can see the visible transmission, the infrared transfer, the solar heat gain, et cetera, et cetera. I've had people tell me before, Jeff, I want to go with brand X because they actually have better performance data than brand Y or brand Z. And we've gotten those windows together before, and we've held the glass up to this tester, and we've tested the glass, and guess what? They're 100% identical. Because if you watch my videos about glass, and there's a great video about low-E coatings and glass, you'll learn that while we have 1,800 window makers in the US, more or less, we only have about 4 glass companies. So they're all buying their glass from someone. So now it becomes about marketing. It becomes about giving it their special numbers. And sometimes people can manipulate numbers to make them look better than they really are. So be careful for that. The third thing that I see, and it also ties into number 2, is because people are looking for a specific type of window and they like the numbers on the window, they end up with a frame that's way too chunky. I'm going to show you an example. Here's a vinyl window, a corner of a vinyl window, that's got great ratings on it. But look at how wide that is. I mean, look at how much glass you're going to lose on this window. Now, if this was a window that was, say, 6 feet wide by 8 feet tall, you probably wouldn't care. You probably wouldn't notice how wide this frame is. But imagine the kitchen sink window, or that little skinny window by the front door, or the window in the bathroom. That window by the front door is only usually 12 inches wide. A 12-inch wide window and nearly 4 inches of plastic, you're going to end up with like 2 inches of glass in the middle. It's going to be hideous and ugly. Now the ratings are going to be great. Why? Because the heat doesn't come through the frame like it comes through the glass. So when the guy says, well, here's my window, it's got a better heat rating than the other guy, well, maybe so, but you have a whole lot less glass on that window as well. So that's something to consider. People buy windows based on numbers and then they end up with ugly, chunky frames. This window right here is a terrific window. It does everything that this window will do, and it's so much narrower. Look at the difference between these two. I'm going to put them side by side. Now, if you're wanting to buy frame or you're wanting to buy glass, which one would be the best choice for you? I've got some pictures we're going to throw up on the screen as I talk about this. I want you to see some examples of people who bought windows and they didn't get to see how it was going to look in their house until it was too late and these windows were already installed, and now they're regretting that they ever bought that window. So chunky frames, big, ugly, thick, chunky frames are a no-no, and we see people make that mistake a lot, and once the windows are in, they can't take them back. They absolutely hate it. Another mistake we hear people make all the time is the tonight only price. There's a company in town, there's more than one, but there's one in particular that they come out to your house and they do that 3-hour presentation, and then they say, and I'm going to give you a real number here, I just heard this last week from a guy who bought windows from us. He said, Jeff, when they got all done with their 3-hour presentation, they told me, here's our price, this is $101,000. $101,000. But after all the discounts we have, it was $78,000. Oh, wow, wasn't that great? And they mentioned something about Labor Day, and I thought, well, what would Labor Day have to do with the cost of making a window? But I've seen Grandparents' Day discounts. I've seen Labor Day, Memorial Day, Thanksgiving sale. I mean, there's all these reasons they have. But the guy said, but if you buy it tonight instead of $78,000, you can get it for $64,000. 78 to 64 because you buy it tonight. If you let me walk across that threshold, Mr. Homeowner, that price goes with me, and you will not get a better price ever again. I would have kicked the guy out. I mean, that's manipulation to me. Guess what? That job, we were at $41,000 for a comparable product with a better install, a better warranty, and better customer service. But a lot of people fall for that. I mean, obviously they do, or these companies wouldn't be in business. They wouldn't be sending you these flyers that are this big in your mailbox every day that talk about a big 40% off sale. And by the way, I've watched their Facebook page on these companies. Their big sale that ends at midnight on the 31st, they start a new one that's the same thing with different wording that ends on the 31st of the next month. So it's just this constant, you've got to buy tonight. The last one is 0% financing. It kind of goes in conjunction with some of the other things that they talk about, right? They make you fall in love with the window. They focus on how great their numbers are. They tell you about how much you're going to love the performance, and then they tell you that you got to buy it tonight. And by the way, you can cancel in 3 days if you change your mind. And if you don't buy tonight, you're not going to also get advantage of our 0% financing. A lot of companies that do this, they offer 48 months of 0% financing. I have a great video. We'll send a link to you, put a link to it in the description about the ugly truth behind 0% financing. But I'll give you the short version of it. Anytime someone gets a 0% financing option, it's actually costing the company that's selling the windows a percentage of the deal. They have to buy your interest rate from the lender so that they can offer it to you for 0%. It's anywhere between, it depends on how long the term is and how good your credit is, it's anywhere between 5% all the way up to about 18% of the deal. So if you were going to, if you say, well, Jeff, I've got good credit. Yeah, that's even worse. The better your credit is, the more they're going to charge the dealer for that because they know you're going to pay the bill. Your best deal with any window company, especially mine, is to negotiate your very best cash price, if they didn't already give it to you in the first place, like they should have, and then pay with a check or pay with a wire or pay with cash, because then we don't have to do the credit card processing. It's going to save you money. But falling for the 0% thing is they got you on two parts. They told you had to do it now, and they told you that you don't want to pass up on a 0%. And most Americans, we're all kind of this way. We're a little greedy. We hate to pass up, quote, free money. But in this case, it's not free money. Okay, so those are the top 5 things. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Even if you live in another state, send me your stories about your window questions or how we can help, because we do know a lot of great dealers all over the country. Maybe we know someone in your neck of the woods that can help you. If you're in the Houston area, please give us a call or drop by. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to talk to you about your window project, and hopefully we can help you avoid these 5 mistakes. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.